Hi, I'm Dinesh and you're watching Off Track. Today's guest is an actress who is just not a perfectionist but also a fearless, romantic and deeply emotional person. Shriya Saran, welcome to Off Track.
Hi.
16 years in industry.
14.
Okay, 14 years in industry. Surviving. Was it tough?
No, I love what I do and I would want to be acting till the day I die. And that's what, when my last film, Manam, I was working with A&R sir and he inspired me to do so because even though he was suffering from cancer, he wanted to shoot till the last breath. He wanted to dub for the film. And I love what I do. I would want to do this till the last breath of my life.
When you started the industry, before you came into...
In fact, I don't understand why they keep asking actresses to survive for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. Don't you think as a journalist somewhere, maybe I'm wrong, but somewhere we're branding actresses as just as actresses who as part of film where a girl is supposed to be only in college, whereas women today are doing so much. You know, she's a mother, she's a working lady, she's I mean, you know, she's holding like really strong and important positions, not just in India but globally, internationally. So the films always depict that, right? And I think it's time that we made films for someone who's 40-year-old or 45 or 50. And if it's a strong, good story, I don't think that should be a problem. And I've never heard a journalist asking the same question to a hero. You never ask a hero, oh, how was it surviving for 14 years or 16 years or 20 years? So I'm just saying, I think it's time that we get over that whole thing that, oh, a heroine's life is only for 5 years or 6 years. It's time we move on.
No, I really support that statement of yours, but you know, why ask this? Because when it comes to heroes, they have a complete solid background of a film family, film industry.
That's not true. A lot of actors, a lot of heroes who today have a family background, at some point of time, their parents or someone started from nothing. You know, like reason which can only happen in film industry. People come with dreams and make that dream into reality. You tell a story, you know, and if it's a beautiful story, it's meaningful, it's powerful, it crosses barriers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You don't care what the actors pass. What you know. I mean, look at all of them, from A&R sir to Chiranjeevi Garu to they all came from somewhere, you know, and then they are. People love them today.
Can you give examples of heroines who have been like that, on that level?
Of course, see, Hema ma'am is still, if you look at Gautamiputra Satakarni, in 78, 80, this was a man who said that I want to be known by my mother's name. And that's what Gautami's role is, Hema ma'am. And look at how beautiful she's looking right now. How stunning she is. And there's, you know, it's just about changing the mindset. And you as journalists change the mindset is when people start looking at it differently, because also the stories are now, I think this is the most beautiful time to be in film industry. The stories that they're writing, they're for like everyone. There's this, also because of multiplexes and corporates coming in, basically because of multiplexes, there are different kind of cinema that you're making. See, before, a lot of women didn't really go to watch a film without someone. But today, because of multiplexes, you go for shopping, you go watch a film. You know, women are going alone to watch a film. So, because there's so many women who are coming to watch the film, it's changing. For instance, my film, Gautamiputra Satakarni. You know, I'm the heroine of the film, but I have a son who is, I have a 5-year-old son, and I have another child who's just an infant, like, you know, and that didn't happen a few years back, you know, it didn't happen, but it's just now people are changing and it's totally fine.
In last 14 years, what major changes you have seen in the industry when it comes to a heroine-oriented characters?
See, I don't understand the word when they say heroine oriented. And when you sit in an aircraft, it doesn't matter if a pilot, if the pilot is a male pilot or a female pilot. When you go to operation theatre, you don't say it's a female oriented operation theatre or male oriented operation theatre. So it's a job. And the job is to tell a story, and the story needs to entertain you.
No.
So heroine-oriented film doesn't mean that I'm playing a cop or I'm doing an action sequence and that's a heroine-oriented film. No, it's a film where where a heroine has layers, where she has a character graph, where there are emotions, and when I'm saying one emotion, there is a subtle underplay of different other emotions, you know, and it's something that you know when it's a story that describes a woman of today. I think it is a heroine-oriented film. It doesn't matter. She doesn't need to be the hero of the film. She needs to be someone who's telling the story. That's it.
I really appreciate your very strong stand on women and women of substance, but you cannot run away from the fact that it is predominantly a male-dominated industry where the maximum
But
movies.
which industry is not male-dominated? In America, for the longest time. I mean, yeah. Look at America. Look at most of the countries. Yes, it is. Most of the industries are male-dominated. For the longest time, men were paid more than women, and in film industry, yes, men are paid more than women. But that is changing, and that will change. The moment you have more directors who are women, the moment you have more producers and more distributors who are women, it'll change. It completely will change. And also, you need, filmmakers are changing. Again, I know I'm coming back to my film, but for instance, Gautamiputra Satakarni, every character is important. So I don't think Krish was thinking, oh, he is the hero of the film, he's more important, or he's the heroine of the film, maybe second most important. It was the scene which was important. It's the characters who are bringing the scene together, and the scene will tell you a story, right? So it didn't matter who is the hero, who's the heroine, you know. It was I don't think any character is treated like that in this film.
Technically, the director Krish made.
I think most of his films have a very strong role of actress, you know, and it's a cycle, you know. If you look at it, there were films in Hindi also called Mandi, and they were like these Smita Patil and Shabana Azmi, and even I was talking to Tabu the other day, and she said, but role hi nahi likh rahe yaar, kaam kya kare? So, but then, you know, that's the reality. I mean, yes, that's the problem, but that's not going to be the problem for a very long time. Look at Dangal. She is the main fighter, the main person of the film, and Amir is an amazing actor to actually go ahead and do that. And it's not. I don't think that was a problem with the collections of the film. Nothing changed. It's still the highest grosser right now. So I don't think there's a problem with people. I don't think there's a problem with filmmakers. Yes, it's a transition.
I think after this interview, people will definitely talk about, you know, women-oriented scenes, and because you have strongly come forward for it. When you were in school, people knew you more about dancing and a girl with oily hair, spectacles,
yes,
known for dance,
yeah, I was
but not for looks. But now you're more into glamorous rather than acting.
I think glamour is a very overused, overabused word in in journalism. It needs to get out of the film critic scene completely. Especially when they review an actress from the film, they say, oh, glamorous, oh, bubbly character. I think these things should just get out of the system. See, because any other profession also, and I'm sorry to say I'm coming very strong, if you were to review a painting, you know, for instance, if you're reviewing per se a painting by, you can't review, but if you're writing about a painting by Reza, who's, I think, my God, or I love his work, or anyone for that reason, you know. And for instance, there's a Cochin Biennale 2-year art festival going on. You have proper panelists doing it, and if you were to write about an artist, you need to go through a proper art appreciation course before you can even pick up a pen and write. But that, unfortunately, has not happened in India as yet. You know, so you can be anyone and writing a review. And the worst thing that has happened now is, before it was just a conversation, but now anyone and everyone can like tweet about it and write about it and, you know, like give a review. So it's really scary, because glamour is just I don't get it. I don't understand the word when they say glamour. I am playing my part, you know, and I'm very comfortable by who I am. So I don't mind wearing good clothes. I don't mind celebrating myself, because I practice gratitude every day. I'm very grateful to God for the way I am. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't understand what glamour means. You know, I don't get it.
Do you get angry, regretted when people write
I
about
don't get
glamour?
angry, I don't care. It's their loss because they don't see the things the way they should be seeing it. A girl wearing a short skirt is not less glamorous or more glamorous than a girl wearing a sari. You know, and a lot of time when I do characters where I'm wearing a sari and they say, "Arey, very homely character," but I don't understand why wearing a sari is not sexy. Why does it become homely? You know, I just don't get it. It's beyond me.
You've acted in Bollywood, you've acted in Tollywood, you've acted in Collywood. you've acted
I
in
call it
American-
Indian cinema.
And also
I always say I worked in Indian films and English films.
and American cinema also. What next for Shriya Saran?
Well, I don't see. I've always said that you can't plan tomorrow. God has a very funny sense of humor. The moment you start planning tomorrow, I think the first person who laughs at you is God. God is like, really? Let me see. You think you can do that tomorrow? Let me see what you can do tomorrow. Because honestly, you never know what tomorrow holds. And that's the beauty of life. You really don't know what tomorrow holds. But one thing that I've learned from life and over all these years working in cinema is that I'm just very grateful to God that I'm in a profession where I can get up in the morning and say, I love my job. I can work for 14 hours and I say, I love that today. I don't think I can ever get up and say, oh my God, I'm so tired, I'm exhausted, I'm stressed because I'm working. You know, I don't understand stress management because you don't manage stress, you let it go. But acting as a job, my deepest emotion come out, my sadness, my happiness, everything's just out. I think there's not even a single day that goes by in my life where I don't say, thank you, God. Because I wasn't destined to be an actor, I was destined to be a dancer. I took a leap of faith. Not one day in my life, you know what I want to do? For tomorrow, I don't know how much I can do it. But practice gratitude, be thankful for everything that I have. And I think a lot of time when I tell people practice gratitude and they tell me, but what do you mean? I mean, there's nothing to be thankful about. Just a simple fact that the fact that you can see me, the fact that you can breathe, and the fact that every nerve in your body right now is functioning the way it should be. I think it's something that you have to be thankful to God and just practice gratitude. I want to attract happy people in my life. I want to travel and I want to just meet happy, interesting people while I'm working. Create beautiful memories that I can remember all my life. Tell stories that I believe in. Do work that motivates me. Well, another thing that I really want to do is help make sure that my NGO Spandana grows. Basically, Spandana is an initiative. It's my NGO where we only employ blind people, and blind are blessed with sense of touch. So massage
How did it happen,
given.
the Spandana thing?
So I'll explain it to you about it. Massage given by a blind person has healing powers, and if I may say, they're better than a sighted person because their eyes are their hands. It's a long story, but I'll cut it short. I was 14 or 15. I was in Delhi and I was crossing the road, and I missed my bus, and it was really, really hot, and I saw this white color building and I walked inside to get a glass of water. And so while I was drinking my water, I heard a ball which made sound. It had bells in it.
Okay.
So I kind of followed that sound and I saw a bunch of kids playing cricket, which is fairly normal in our country, but they were playing cricket with a ball which made sound. It took me a second to realize they all were blind. And just the way they synchronized the game, it was just about the sound of the ball. The whole game was about that, and just how they were concentrating on it and how immaculately they play the game. It just, for me, and I'd never seen a blind person before in my life, I have to be honest. It just, I mean, I didn't know how to react, so I sat down and I started watching them play and I started cheering for them. And while I was cheering and clapping for them, one little kid came and sat next to me, touched my face like that, because when they're blind and when they're young, they touch your face and they touch your hands to know you're new. And so he asked me, "You're new?" I told him, "Yeah." And so he asked me, "How come you're here? This is a blind school and not every day people come chilling here watching cricket match." So I told him that, it's really hot and I wanted a glass of water and I missed my bus. The moment I said missed my bus, he started laughing, he lost it. And I was like, why? And so it took him a second to control his laughter, and he said, I'm blind and I've never missed a catch. How can you miss your bus? So it was just his sense of humor and the way he said it. I got really hooked on, and I started going and spending a lot of time there. I used to stammer a little bit, but because I started reading to them, it helped me solve that. Because I realized that they helped me more than I helped them. So, and India has the largest number of blind population in the world. And it's really important that we integrate them in the society. So this is a small initiative where people come and they spend an hour where they're relieved of their pain. They start trusting a blind person more because they didn't know what a blind person is capable of. And a blind person is more self-confident because this is not the money which was given to him in charity, it's the money that he made for himself. So that's the idea.
And how come the Vipassana helps you? You're into Vipassana also.
Yes, I am. I don't meditate that much as I used to, but yes, it does really help me. I don't know, Vipassana is very scientific, it's a lot of physics. You concentrate on your breathing, and it's very simple. And it's free of cost, anyone can do it. Because Buddha believed that you can't sell wisdom. And yes, it really did change me a lot. But I think I need to meditate a lot more.
Talking about a movie, Gautamiputra, 2002 you acted with Balayya, and after 14 years again you're acting. So what change you have seen in the hero?
I think every actor is growing and evolving with every film. And every film, every story you tell, if the story meant anything to you, it changes you as a person. Because see, for instance, Vashishti Devi, I took a journey inside me. First, you go inside yourself, right? And all those emotions which are coming out, they come from some incident from your life. You go back and you track back, and a lot of emotions are just out of your system. They're flushed out. So that's one thing that it does to you. But most importantly, you learn a lot about yourself with every character. You grow, and life also shows you different colors of it. Which is what I was listening to Kate Winslet interview, and she said, being a mother has made me a better actor. Because you've seen different emotions which you didn't know existed. So yeah, I think life has taken us to different journeys, and life takes you to different journey, and then you meet again on another film. As an actor, I think I haven't met anyone who is that dedicated to his craft. He's up at 3 in the morning, goes for his workout, comes on set, extremely dedicated, hardworking, motivated, and very respectful towards others. And the best part is, after 100 films, it's very easy to, you tend to let it be, you tend to take it easy, you tend to get used to your fans and adulation and love, and it is addictive. But I feel this man hasn't gotten on his head. He's still very grounded, he's still very simple, and he's still very approachable when on sets. Gives a lot to the other actor while performing. He helps you a lot. He's always there, and I've had these beautiful moments while shooting for this film. Also, this film, every character is going through so much. There's so much that's happening in every scene that it's important that you trust each other with your emotions, because let's face it, there are times that you're completely naked with your emotions, and you need someone when you're expressing yourself. You want someone who trusts you with that. So that way, it was just fantastic to work with him, and I feel he just looks so amazing as Gautamiputra Satakarni. When he walks, and the way he's delivered his lines, and the kind of dedication he's shown, it's just fantastic.
14 years back, when you started shooting for the first time, you were a prankster, you used to run away from shoot, and you trouble the director. Did you trouble the director Krish in this movie?
Well, I didn't trouble him, but I think I But I think I did trouble him a little bit. But we became really good friends, and so Krish is someone who knows what exactly he wants from his actors. You know, he gives you a very in-depth narration of the film, which is so from his heart, and which is so pure, and which is so honest, that kind of stays in your heart forever. You know, it stays in your mind. It becomes like the moments from that narration I still remember, you know. And while I was performing my scenes, those moments just kept coming back, you know. You discuss a lot about the character, about the scene, and you think that he's giving you a lot of freedom, but he exactly knows what he wants, you know. And he's just a wonderful, wonderful director to work with. He's a dream to work with, because he treats you like a little child, and you know, so you can be a child, and he brings out the child in you, you know, while you're on the set, you're chit-chatting, you're talking, and suddenly when the scene happens, action camera, and you're like there, because he's right there. And I feel if you see a good film, and if you see actors really enjoying themselves, and actors being that character, it's always because they had a beautiful time shooting for the film. It's also because they had a lovely time being that character. See, when you're being a character, you're visiting a character, and you're creating it in your head, and you're creating it so that people relate to it. So Krish creates such a fun environment on the set that it becomes your second nature to be Vashishti Devi for me. I feel I love traveling, and I love my work too, but I love traveling. And I told Krish that working on Gautamiputra Satakarni was more fun than traveling and holidaying. Was more fun than any other fun, because it was so, and even though we were crying every day, and the costumes took 1 hour to get in, the locations were live locations like this, the fort we're shooting in. It's not that it was easy, and it wasn't, you know, but you know, in the night when you work with a good director, when you know that a good director took care of you, when you know that your emotions were in the right note, when you know that you can trust someone, you know, it's that good night's sleep that you get. And as an artist, there's nothing more beautiful than that.
Shriya, it was pleasure talking to you. Best of luck for your
Thank you.
Spandana and lot more movies to come
And for
forward.
Gautamiputra Satakarni, and thank you, Krish. Thank you, Balagaru. Thank you, Hima ma'am.